Franz Krausz made that print. It's beautiful. Of Jerusalem, you know? And it says Visit Palestine in incredibly cool looking letters. And it's iconic. It's beautiful. It's a beautiful print. At the time that that was made, Israel did not exist. I'll repeat that. At the time that that poster was made, Israel did not exist, okay? So if Israel did not exist, then how can that piece be political? It inherently cannot be political, if you think about it. It is not inherently political, is what I'm trying to say. And maybe if it's further back. But then the audio is going to be different too. And now look, I'm looking weirdly at you. None of that works. So anyway, I was thinking about that poster, and one of the reasons why I leave it up in my studio always is because I think it's non-political. I think it's really lucid. It's a beautiful piece of art made in 1936. All it says is Visit Palestine, which is something I think everybody should do. I don't think anybody who talks about it with great vitriol or anger or rage or whatever, who has not been there, really has the right to do that. I think that's a little bit messed up. Yes, if we do it this way, Bob's not even in frame. That's kind of perfect. I'm liking this more and more. Alright, so to return to the point at hand. We don't have any lamps. Our lighting is shot. We've changed the entire studio because we did a studio move, which is working great for the purposes of making art, but not so great for our little live stream project that we've begun. The poster, which reads Visit Palestine, visually affects people now because of the massive amount of propaganda on behalf of the, I don't even know who's doing that. The Zionists are doing that, or, you know, I don't know what part of Israel is so adamant about not showing or denying, basically, what's going on. Anybody who's traveled there knows, though, I think it's happening. And one of the sad things about it is, as a person who grew up learning about the Holocaust and what happened, and then as that being the keyhole, how I got into knowing about Jews, and then learning about their situation in the world, and reading about the absurd, sort of universal, what is the term for it? Bigotry, discrimination, oppression, mockery, suppression that they endured, culminating in the Holocaust, which is just horrible. To see them get this place, get is already a problem with this way of discussing it. To give them a place the way it's been done, which was an absurdity of the end of the empires, and then to see them do the same thing to others, which I witnessed with my own eyes, has a feeling of sadness to it that is big. Because I don't see Jew and Palestinian, I see man who is abused and derided and suppressed, now doing the same things that were done to him to another. And I see the other it's never been a fair fight. So for the other, it's a lot of the time about how it's never been a fair fight. This was the journalism I did when I went there. You can hear it on Audible Palestine, which was a project I did in December of 2003 amidst the Iraq War. The week that they found Saddam Hussein, I was in Jerusalem. And that is what the Palestine audio that you saw earlier that I showed on here um, is all about. Every day, every weekday of that, Monday through Friday, I finished a piece, an audio piece about a different aspect of life there. Went to a hotel at night, and uploading times from the hotel in those days in 2003, it would take, the piece would be 5 minutes long, or maybe 10 minutes max. It was going to be on the news in Los Angeles. And I would cut the whole thing up on my computer, and then I would go to the hotel to upload it because the upload time was something like 7 hours, 6 hours. So I'd get to the hotel, the guy would see me, we'd start the upload. I'd drink tea with him, hang around there, waiting, hoping it didn't get interrupted. Which did happen, and I'd have to start over. And every day, under tremendous duress, I mean, in terms of production, I don't mean duress like the people there are suffering. I mean, but like how I did that, when I look at myself doing that, I was like an automaton. I was just doing it. I had no instruction in this. I had only been a journalist, you know. And then when I came back, we played the show at a time when nobody would be listening, basically. That's what they did to the show, and they archived it. MTK and the OPT, which is at the Pacific Radio Archives, is a multi-disc compilation of all that material. And that was all culled from the audio that I collected on that trip. The things I learned, I talk about with some people, but I don't anymore. And the things I reported as a journalist would, fairly. I'm not trying to tell you that I have no vested interest in this. As a Hindu, I'm supposed to have issues with the Muslims, right? And as an American, I'm supposed to, you know, it's all quite complicated. And I think that the only statement I really want to make is visit Palestine. So I put up a sign that says that, you know, you've seen it. Now, in the time since that's all happened, that particular poster has been used visually, and digital information, everything has changed visually. So a show that I think is funny is Curb Your Enthusiasm, Larry David show, you know. And he did one extra season later. It wasn't as good, but it was still pretty funny. Anyway, there was an ep there where he becomes the peacemaker between the Palestinian chicken joint and the Jewish community, because he wants to eat their chicken because it's delicious or whatever. And that poster, the Franz Krausz Visit Palestine poster, is on the wall in there. So it's almost like they were associating it with the way I am, because that's their restaurant. But the way it came off to the viewer is that poster symbolizes something political. And it's impossible for it to symbolize anything political, because it's from before Israel existed. Which is why I put it up. Because to me, that's all I want to say about the conflict, if you want to call it a conflict. I don't even want to say that. You should visit Palestine. You should go without any weapons of any kind. You should go open-eyed. You should go with a camera, video. You should go and see things and watch them for what they actually are. All humans should do this because this is about humanity. And MTK, the global citizen, le citoyen du monde.